Okay, so I'm here because I just really feel a need to make this video because there's many times where, someone may feel like, they have a wife or they have a kingdom husband, because they're new and entering the kingdom spouse journey. They're new and entering this journey, and they may just be like, well, this person could be my husband because we look alike. This person could be my wife because we're similar. We have similar traits, but that's a very dangerous thing to do because at the end of the day, you really never know if this person is actually your spouse unless the Lord specifically tells you, and He'll tell you in many ways. Being a seer, being a prophet, I'm someone who can clearly hear the voice of God. And so I've had God personally tell me that someone is my husband, and when the Lord told me this, I was happy. Like this person even confirmed it to me, like you don't know what's God and what's not God. That's a part of having discernment. Like this person has confirmed it to me. He's made comments to me. He said stuff, and this was years ago. But even though this person knew that they were supposed to approach me, they didn't do their duties, and they didn't fulfill their duties as a husband. Like he didn't fulfill his duties as a husband. So and I also see the word practice what you preach. I don't know who that's for, but it's appearing in the spirit. That is the word that I'm seeing. So practice what you preach. Whoever that's for, leave a comment if that's your confirmation, because you leaving those comments helps me because I'm just doing God's will. Coming up here, God told me to come up here, so you leaving that comment and letting me know is very helpful and beneficial to my channel. In the longevity. But anyway, to continue on, basically this person was just doing stuff like that wasn't within God's will. And at the end of the day, because God would tell me, that once again having that gift to hear, God would tell me, He would be like, witchcraft is involved. He would tell me like if they was doing witchcraft or they did it on me, and at the end of the day, what can you do with that? Did I pray for him? Yes, I prayed for him. Did I cover him? I covered him. But it got to a point in time to where God let me know that he was just somebody who I was around to teach me things. Like God is showing me the word teach in the spirit. He's showing me the word teach, and I'm seeing a song with the word teach in it, teacher, so he's just confirming it to me. But at the end of the day, that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes in life we have to learn from some people. And at the end of the day, if they're not choosing you, if they're not practicing what he wasn't practicing what he was preaching. Practice what they preach is what God is showing me right now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God just gave me that confirmation. They will practice what they preach. He wasn't practicing what he was preaching. And he really wasn't. He was doing it's like he knew about God. He could hear the word. He heard God, but he did it in, secretively. He did it in secret. He did it privately, is what the Lord is showing me. And unfortunately, that's just how the situation was. He break my heart? Um, no, because I never really had those feelings for him, but he did disappoint me because God told me, hey, this is your person. God was just saying his name constantly over and over again. And that's another thing. You would hear their names like and that's if you have the gift to hear. If you don't have the gift to hear, just stay with my channel. We're gonna help you. We're gonna do a lot of things. I have a lot of things coming up, but God will never force somebody to be with you. Okay, and so I'm gonna make another word soon, but I just want to let y'all know that God cannot force anybody to do anything. I don't believe. You know, who knows? God may wake up one day and tell me different, or he may change. Because who knows? But at the end of the day, if as for what I know, I go based off of what God has told me and the knowledge that I have. Because sitting there going based off of what you think will get you in a world of trouble. Like when you are a true sheep, then you will know God's voice. And you will understand. But I'm gonna dive into more words, but I just wanted to say that God will confirm to you who your partner is. It's not about what you think, it's about what you know, because you could be sitting here waiting on somebody for years, and that wouldn't even be within God's will. That shows that you're not really listening and hearing God as much as you should, because I've specifically had God tell me, exit a person. exit. When you see the word exit, it means to no longer be in that place, no longer be around those people. And then not only that, but God will also, God speaking from the wisdom, God just showed me is wisdom that I'm sharing. Yes, this is wisdom. This is gained experience from my life. I have wanted somebody to be my husband and they weren't being obedient. So what the Lord said is God said that you have a new, like you're going to get a new husband. He literally said in his own words, you're going to get a replacement. I can't remember if that's what God said exactly. And the messages I had where I sent the message to my best friend, it was deleted. But the Lord said, I'm going to get it. He said replacement. He either said replacement or he said a new spouse. But he said one of those things, and I know for a fact that he said you're going to find a new spouse in so and so, and he continued on with the prophecy. But this was me hearing God. Keyword new spouse. Keyword replacement spouse. There's no such thing as just sitting here and waiting on a person that's not doing what they're supposed to do. And they're not fulfilling their prophecy. They're not fulfilling what they're supposed to do intentionally. And God is bringing to my attention something that happened in the Bible where he wanted one of the men to lay with their brother's wives, his deceased brother's wife. It's in the Bible. He wanted him to lay with her and so that he can impregnate her. And he told him to do that. But just because he told him to do that didn't mean that he was going to do it. He told him to do it. And the man, instead, when he laid with her, he spilled his on the ground. He basically released himself on the ground. He didn't impregnate her. He didn't fulfill his duties. But at the end of the day, that's only what God can tell him to do. God didn't force him to do anything. God couldn't force him to do anything. And at the end of the day, it ended. It ended there. There was nothing else for God to do. And some of y'all, I understand because y'all may not know any better, but some of y'all be so stuck on these people, and you stuck on somebody that's just smokes and mirrors. They're not worried about you. They're not. You gotta listen sometimes. They don't care about you, or maybe they mistreat you. Maybe they love you, but they don't respect you. Or maybe they're too embarrassed or they feel humiliated and they don't want to be with you. You have to understand these things. This is life. God is a miracle worker. God is amazing. He can make your life beautiful, but you have to be willing to accept God. God, and he's showing they can even be territorial over you. He's showing me the word territorial, literally. They can be territorial. They can do all these things. They can make you promises. They can even give you a promise ring. I'm seeing a promise ring, but yet they're not proposing to you. They're not really doing what they're not doing their due diligence. And I want to end this word right here. I am going to pray that y'all have a blessed day. I pray that y'all continue on with y'all day. I pray everything goes well. I'm going to be releasing more words, and good night.